Do good to those that can't repay. Luke 14:12-14. And he also said to him who had invited him, when you make a dinner or supper, do not call your friends, nor your brothers, nor your relatives, nor rich neighbors, lest they also should invite you in return, and it become a repayment to you. But when you make a banquet, call the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and then you will be blessed, for they have nothing to repay you, for it will be repaid to you in the resurrection of the just. Next, make to yourselves friends by the unrighteous mammon. From Luke 16:1-13. And he also said to his disciples, a certain man was rich, and he had a steward, and this one was accused to him as wasting his goods. And calling him, he said to him, what is this I hear about you? Give the account of your stewardship, for you can no longer be steward. And the steward said within himself, what shall I do? For my Lord is taking away the stewardship from me. I am not able to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I know what I will do, that when I am removed from the stewardship, they will receive me into their houses. And having called to him each one of the debtors of his Lord, he said to the first, how much do you owe my Lord? And he said, 100 baths of oil. And he said to him, take your statements, and sitting quickly, write 50. Then he said to another, and you, how much do you owe? And he said, 100 cores of wheat. And he said to him, take your statement and write 80. And the Lord praised the unrighteous steward, because he acted prudently. For the sons of this age are more prudent than the sons of light themselves are in their generation. And I say to you, make to yourselves friends by the unrighteous mammon, that when it fails, they may take you into the eternal dwellings. He faithful in the least is also faithful in much, and he unrighteous in the least is also unrighteous in much. Then, if you were not faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will entrust the true to you? And if you were not faithful in that of another, who will give to you that which is yours? No servant is able to serve two lords, for either he will hate the one and he will love the other, or he will cling to the one and he will despise the other. You are unable to serve God and mammon. Next, when you have done all things commanded you, you say, we are unprofitable slaves, for we have done what we ought to do. From Luke 17:7-10. But which of you, having a slave plowing or feeding, will say at once to him coming out of the field, come, recline? But will he not say to him, prepare something what I may eat, and having girded yourself, sorry, my pronunciation, girded yourself, serve me until I eat and drink, and after these things you shall eat and drink. Does not he have thanks to that slave? Does not he have thanks to that slave because he did the things commanded of him? I think not. So also, when you have done all things commanded you, you say, we are unprofitable slaves, for we have done what we ought to. Oh yes. The next commandment, these things beginning to happen, stand up and lift your heads. Luke 21:25-28. And there will be signs in the sun and moon and stars, and on the earth will be anxiety of nations, with bewilderment, roaring of sea and of surf, men fainting from fear, and expectation of the things coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and much glory. But these things beginning to happen, stand up and lift your heads, because your redemption draws near.